So we are back for round 2. Do you see the title?
Now, black people got smoked for Charlie since he's gone.
Yes.
I don't think
it's
because he's gone. See, because like he got on my radar when he did the whole pilot situation. That was a real issue for me when he did the whole pilot thing and saying that when he sees a black pilot, he wondered if they are qualified and all this other nonsense and just trying to tie DEI with black folks as just being uneducated and unqualified for jobs, and we just got the positions because we are of a certain color. I think that's just ridiculous to me. And also, and then when he moved forward, also when he was talking about Michelle Obama, Joy Reid, Kataji, and he's trying to say that they don't have the brain power to do their job, I thought that was ridiculous. Even though I know he hasn't said it very specifically, black women or black men, right? However, the way how his rhetoric was, that was like the dog whistle to say, yeah, I'm talking about your best and brightest black women. They don't have the brain power, which is going to translate to people understanding what he's really saying. He was not pushing out peaceful things. He was attempting to divide the country. And clearly, in his death, it absolutely worked. And that's the issue I have with him.
So let me ask you a question. And then I'm going to get down and let y'all have your conversation. Because, you know, Sharon, we got good blood right now. And I want to have to cook you real quick. But do you think potentially that black people have gotten his message incorrect since they are not white and most people that are speaking to this don't actually hold counsel with white people?
No, I think they understood exactly what he was attempting to say, that without saying it in so much very harsh words. A lot of times a racist person, they cover up their true agenda with these fallacies of truth that they try to say, they trying to push out into the world. I'm just telling the truth. But then you do a little research on the truthful things that they say, and you realize that they are manipulating the truth. They saying a little bit of truth, but it's mostly filled in with all this bigotry and racism, and always the racism is outside of them is the issue. It's always outside of them. It's always somewhere else.
Okay, so
you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. How much time have you actually spent with people that are racist?
So for me,
that includes black people. That includes black people.
In the industry I am, it's hard to say, but I will believe I do. I deal with them a lot.
Okay, so this is the thing. I can tell you, not based off of what I believe, but what I actually know, right? Racist white people are not hiding anything. They don't have to. The fact that black people in America honestly believe that racists are going outside of their way to hide the fact that they're racist is incorrigible to me. As if they have forgotten about the KKK, as if they have forgotten about Tulsa, Oklahoma, as if they have forgotten about, you know, Alabama and the bus and making you get your black ass on the back of the bus and everything else, that they had laws saying that one drop of black made you a nigga, that they said you couldn't marry outside of your race. Like, white people not hiding anything when it comes to their racism. They're very upfront with it. They're loud. They're proud. We're here. We're get into it with their rhetoric, right? They're doing what they want to do. When it comes down to Charlie Kirk and what he was speaking to and his message was really dismantling these systems that are set to make us, the people, believe that we are actually working in conjunction for the betterment of the people. Hell, even Martin Luther King Jr., the patron saint of all black people, said, I fear I have integrated my people into a burning house. He said this directly out his own mouth. So what exactly are we talking about? This is a fallacy. It's an illusion.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, is that we are recognizing that people are not so blatant about it anymore. Because they don't want to lose their jobs, because there's a bunch of people right now losing their jobs for speaking their mind about this situation.
And they should.
We understand what Martin Luther King was actually saying when he said he brought us into a burning situation, right? Because it's a lot of secret people that's doing things behind the scenes. They would act all jolly, they would give you money and all these things, they have paid basketball players, but in reality, they still are as very hatred as they always been. And this is the problem. At one point, it was just blatant. It's not so blatant anymore. They speak the way how Charlie speak. They hear the words that he is saying and what he is using, and they say, "Oh, there go my people." He knows how to articulate himself in a way where we could get around that label and get my business destroyed and get my politics destroyed. So when they learn how to speak like him, they could push out an agenda, mask it in truth, but it's really racism.
Okay, I mean, and I could get your point. You're entitled to feel however you want to feel, right? But when we are talking about that particular statement that Charlie Kirk made about the black pilot, this was during the Supreme Court's 2023 ruling in Students for Fair Admissions versus Harvard, correct? Where there were a whole bunch of people that were up there and they were like, oh yeah, you know what? Whatever else, DIE gave me this, affirmative action gave me that, whoop, 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 and whop, 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 right? So there were people that were up here literally saying, I only got what I got. I only got where I got because of these programs. And he was giving in commentary on the fact that if he were to be the one to say that as a white man, if he were to say, if I see a black pilot, I don't trust him because I'm not sure if he got here based off of merit or if he got here as a opportunity hire.
Pause for a second.
Go ahead.
For a second. Because we're not doing Drip Show TV math over here. So shout out to Drev Crifts with the $100 cash app. And as you see, that is a movable photo. No Drip Show TV math over here. So we actually have to give Jeff. We got to give Jeff a call. Okay, so let me give Jeff a call. Do y'all mind holding? Mind holding? Okay, cool. All right, let me give Jeff a call. Give me 1 second, y'all.
And I'm in a second, Robbie.
Oh, no, I wasn't even finished, but you got a moment to go ahead and look that up. Go ahead and look that up. You want me to put a link in the back for you? Yeah.
Hold on, yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm calling.
You're definitely calling.
You're definitely calling.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying.
Call one more time because he did send $100. Okay. All right. We're calling one more time, Jeff.
Or Jeff just called the line.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff, you there?
Hey, yes, it came through this time.
Welcome to the show, my G. How are you? And I appreciate
you
for the $100.
Yeah, listen, do you want to call me back after? I didn't want to interrupt what you got going on there.
Hey, you know what? That's why you the best, Jeff. God damn, that's why you the best. You know what? We ain't gonna end until we talk to you. You mind if we go ahead and take care of this right quick?
It's up to you, man. I'm down. Whatever.
Okay, Jeff. Let me go ahead and beat Sharon down right quick, and then I'm gonna call you back. All right?
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Take it easy. Hey, that's real motherfucking support. Do y'all understand me? All right, now we can get back to
the real support right there. Shout out to Jeff. Salute to Jeff, and salute to everybody that is showing love and hitting cash apps and hitting super chat. Shout out to everybody that's doing their job. I appreciate it.
Hey, listen, don't just support me, support Sharon, support Mind Chaos Group. We streaming everywhere. Okay. I want everybody to get their money, get their coin for participation. So if you get any cash ups or super chats, just stop me. We can stop the show. We can give our thanks, show our love, and let's move on. All right, you said you had a rebuttal for Robbie.
I wasn't finished, but
go ahead, bro. So I could give it the proper response it needs.
So I could continue to cook you. But anyway, he said if he was to say that, he would be considered a racist. And the gag and the drag of it all is y'all now consider him a racist, and he never confirmed that was his sentiment. So y'all are jumping out the window making assumptions about a man's character, and none of y'all have ever actually had a conversation with a man. Most of y'all don't watch his commentary. You don't follow him on Rumble. You don't follow him on YouTube. You don't follow him on Twitter. But these small clips, and then he's talked about your queens, honey. Joy Reid, Michelle Obama, that y'all were calling a man just the other moment ago. Y'all were saying that hoe was a whole man, and she can't keep her man. And this is why the black women is so horrible, because they worry about their own happiness instead of the black family. But when he say that she ain't shit, it's a problem. So it's okay. It's cool when we do it. It's a problem when they do it. Is that what it is? Go ahead, rebut.
Yeah. So when we have somebody like him says the things that he says about our best and brightest and say that they don't have the brain power, we know what that really means. He is talking about black folks as a whole. He's using those 4 ladies as his outlet to talk about black family, and he's also giving himself an excuse to say, no, I'm only talking about those 4 black ladies, right? And this is what intelligent debaters, they would do that. And the people that is rocking with them, that have this secret racism, the real racist people, that's because he's not a real racist, but he understood what his audience wanted from him. He understood that the real racist people in America that was rocking with him very strongly, they felt a certain way, and his rhetoric was a way for them to say the racist things out loud without seeming as if they were racist, because he is articulate human being. He knew how to do the dog whistle to say, hey, look what we doing over here, to make other people look bad, make them look down. He called it a man a chink live on stage. So we understand that he kept using words like gang shootings. We know what he meant by when he said gang shooters. He did not say things very blatantly. However, he was intelligent enough, and we are intelligent enough to understand when somebody is playing in our face.
So this is the thing. I don't call that playing in the face, just like how the club discussion we had the other day. Your understanding of words is based off of your involvement in the world. As a black person, I am highly offended that when the word gang is spoken, that you think of black people. Because the gag and the drag of it all is the majority of black people are not in gangs. The majority of black people are not in prison. The majority of black people are not criminals. The majority of black people are not thugs. So I think black people shoot themselves in the foot when they run around and say, well, if I hear gangs, I think of white people. Because the last time I checked, especially black people was running around here talking about the biggest gang is the police. Fuck the police, because they're the biggest gang. So guess what? The police gang is multicultural. They got Asians in that bitch. They got Hispanics. They got Arabs. They got all type of people up in that bitch. So therefore, if we think that the biggest gang is the police, how when you hear about gangs, you think about black people as a black man?
So it's not when I hear gang that I think about black folks, but when I hear him say it in the context that he was attempting to use it, that's when I know that's the dog whistle for black folks. He didn't use it in the sense of gang. She said gang shooting as in mass shooting, as he tried to lump that thing in together. And we understand his rhetoric, the way how he presents things. Even when we talk about the criminality and people being arrested, he says it as if black people commit the majority of crimes in America, when we know it's probably roughly around like 70% of crimes that they are committed when we do crime in totality, right? But he want to try to focus on the crime that mainly affects us the most. That's the one he want to focus on. And that is the issue. That's when it starts to be a dog whistle for cold language that he has to push down on certain demographics. That is the issue. And they tried to use this whole per capita issue, right? And the problem with the per capita issue that everybody keep hearing about, we are the victims of murder the most. We are not the most murder committers.
So this is the thing. The group that is most impacted by guns is actually Caucasian Americans by sheer volume. So I don't agree with you that where he was going was to paint a target on black people, especially because when we're talking about school shooters are not black people. They're usually white. When we're talking about, crimes that are committed against the trans part of the LGBTQIA, they're usually committed against the white ones. So if we are talking about school shooters, LGBTQIA, how do Black people as a whole jump to, well, because he said, are we accounting for gang violence, that means that he was talking about Black people? Because he literally, before he could even say anything else in conjunction with his thought, a bullet went through his neck. So y'all are making the assumption predicated upon what?
That's fair. So the problem is that the reason why we know, because he didn't want to stay on mass shooting, because if he stay on mass shooting, he would have to talk about his own people, and most likely in a negative way. And this way, when he tried to deflect, he tried to deflect that word with the ironic of how he just passed away. Sorry.
It's not ironic. It's unfortunate.
But the fact that he the mass shooting part, right? And that he tried to deflect it to and add gang shootings to it was the problem. He could not stay on the topic at hand. And if he stayed on the topic at hand, and then we'd be dealing in the truth of all the dysfunction that's in America, and then that would be fine. The problem is he was trying to paint it in a certain way where it negates the true problems that we have in America. And when we start to deflect things and lose sight of what actually is happening, we cannot move the country forward. We keep the country in this division state that we are in today.
So let's be very clear. What the group of people that are saying, like, it's ironic how he died and, oh, he's a racist, what they're doing is they are actually perpetuating and upholding the divide within our community. Because at the end of the day, this is not a time for that. When JFK was assassinated, even though there was mad racial division within the country came together as one. When MLK and Malcolm X were assassinated, the country came together as one. So when someone is assassinated, hell, when Kevin Samuels passed away, mother flippers on this internet were pissed off that Black women were saying, oh yeah, it was his time to go. Those same MFers are running around saying, yeah, we're happy that Charlie Kirk is deleted. So it's really the hypocrisy, and the hypocrisy is within the community. Because the reality is, like you're saying, that let's just concede to your point that maybe he wanted to deflect, which he didn't, because I actually paid attention to the interview with the man that was involved with the debate with him in the moments that he was deleted. He wasn't trying to deflect at all. He was leading to a bigger conversation. But if he was deflecting, then we could also say that Black people are deflecting, because now focusing on Charlie Kirk takes away from focusing on that Black woman that deleted her children in the parking lot in her car, scammed the whole entire community, got a new house, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It takes away from Carmelo Anthony and the fact that even though everybody was jumping out the window to say, let's defend him because he's innocent and he didn't do anything, and blaming the white young man that lost his life. No, we're just going to blame the people that actually died and say it's their problem. Like, I wish the community, especially the Black community, would just be honest and say they're happy, they're gleeful, because this is retribution for all the officer-involved shootings where nobody was held accountable. I could respect that. But to sit there and say and make a man be a racist that isn't a racist simply because he's had a conversation and a talking point, but I hear Black people every day talk about how much they hate white people. Oh, I'm racist. I don't like white people. So what? So if somebody shoots you in your neck, should the white people run around and say, well, he deserved to die? I'm confused.
So
I'm not just attacking anybody. We're having a conversation. He is standing on the side of whatever, and I'm standing on what I'm standing.
Don't address the chat. I'll take care of that. Let me read these super chats right quick. Yeah. Y'all cooking like a motherfucker. Let me catch these super chats right quick. Sharon, I see you got some super chats too. I'm gonna go from the bottom to the shop. Shout out to the OG, the angry man with $10. He says, we can't move the country forward when certain Black folk continue to assume every white tea person with an opinion is racist. By the way, I see y'all almost at 20K. Congrats. Let's go. Shout out to you and much appreciated to you, OG. Bad Duck with $2 says, it takes a master deflector like Sharon to know. Damn.
Oh,
Shout out to Joshua. Says yellow shirt pulls prejudice out of thin air. White guy. It's a real dark out there. Bring a flashlight. Yellow shirt. Why does it got to be dark? That's literally Sharon. Literature. Robert Platinum with $2 says it's all the black woman's fault.
amen.
And shout out to Kevin with $1.99. Appreciate it. Shout out to Tony with $9.99. Says, bro, respectfully, I'm in love with your wife. Y'all are a power couple. Appreciate it, but she's already married happily. All right, y'all go ahead and continue.
Wait, somebody said I'm a bad wish for my husband black. I don't understand.
Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention. Come on now. Don't. Y'all keep cooking. Go ahead. Keep cooking.
Go ahead, Sharon.
So I think the fact that everybody is so divided and the way how people are receiving his passing shows that he is nothing like MLK or any of those guys that you said before. This is the reason why people did not come together and mourn in totality, because he said a lot of hateful things. His rhetoric was very hateful. His rhetoric was not to be bringing people together. He wanted to divide people. He wanted to have it strictly only Christian white folks to have an opinion. The fact that he was trying to get rid of things and he's trying to pinpoint certain sayings like affirmative actions and DEI, that didn't, and take those things away. We see in today's climate who was affected the most by those situations is black women. For we've seen 300,000 of them got their jobs taken. We understand that nepotism is really the main problem that we have in the job market in the first place. We understand that when we see these planes go down, it's usually not a black person. So black people do not get on the airplane and say, I hope that this pilot is not drunk just because they see a white boy. It's just not something that we do. We tend to look at like, hey, you are qualified because the company hired you, so you must be a good pilot. We don't look at the pilot as a race situation.
That's not true. That's not true. As somebody that flies first class exclusively, every single time I see one of my pilots in the airport, I am going behind their ass and making sure they're not stopping at the bar. What are you talking about? And anybody that is flying in a plane nowadays needs to be making sure they're keeping an eye on the pilots. Are the pilots stopping at the bar and then they're going to fly your plane? Because there's a whole bunch of flights that are crashing out, and they're not crashing out for black people. So that's just an untrue statement. The reality of it is, like, with the amount of black people in aviation in the first place, like, you know that it is coming from a DEI, but his point was not that black people are not qualified. He's saying that the affirmative action and the DEI movements take away the substantiality of being merit-based. Because if you're merit-based, you don't need to have anybody just include you and make you the token nigga to get into anywhere. Now, there's a lot of people even in these spaces that they go to work and they're just the token black person around the water cooler. They're not respected at their jobs. And that's because they're not showing up based off merit. And then people at their jobs also can't fire them because then it's an EOE thing. Every time something happens, everybody wants to go to EOE. Like, what are we talking about?
You gotta let them respond too.
Good.
And so the problem is, we know that for a long time, it's not merit-based for a very long time in a plethora of industries. A lot of times they put these loopholes in front of us so we cannot get hired in these companies and so on and so forth. So it is not merit-based at all. A lot of these people that get into the situation that they get into is because their cousin worked there before, or their daddy was this, that, and the third. You know somebody, they know somebody that knows somebody. A lot of them are not qualified at all. As we could see in his own cabinet, that people was hired. He fired a 4-star general. That is as much merit as you can absolutely have. But he fired him not because he couldn't do his job. No, he fired him because of DEI. That was his excuse. But the real reason why he fired him is because he wanted to push out a certain agenda, and he knew that guy was not going to stand for no BS.
Wait, Charlie fired him?
Stand 10 toes down.
Charlie fired him?
Trump fired him.
Oh, because we're talking about Charlie Kirk. So, I get it that y'all want to loop that all in as
Yeah,
one
we
thing.
have to loop that in.
Sharon, check the back
The
chat.
reason why we have to loop that in is because we are talking about merit based. And when we are talking about merit based, which is Charlie Kirk, he's also a big supporter of Donald Trump and this whole merit based system that we are talking about. He himself has hired people that do not get in off of a merit.
Hey,
And
Sharon, let
that
me
is
ask
the
you a
issue.
question.
Hold on, wait. Sharon, did you check the back chat?
I did not.
Check the private chat.
Check
Go
the
ahead.
back chat, yeah. So let's be real. We're talking about Charlie Kirk, not Trump, right? But you grew up in the 80s. Did you like Hulk Hogan?
I'm a Randy Savage, but yes, I did like Hulkster too. I did.
Hulk Hogan is he's a whole racist. So much so that his daughter is not even included in the will because he kicked her out of the family because she dated a black person. Again, like, it's a mute point if you want to believe it, but let's just say on the outside chance that you were right. Does that mean that racists deserve to die? Because I can tell you, when I was in nursing, I had racist ass white people that didn't want to be cared for by black people, even when they were on their dying bed. And I still provided them care because they didn't deserve to die because their mentality was thrown off. See, when we cut through all the bull crap, right? Everybody can make it about whatever they want to make it about. If you want to be mad, fuck it, be mad. If you want to feel he was a racist, great, he was racist. If you want to feel that Donald Trump is racist, cool, that's your business. Like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But can you quantify that he deserved to die and he deserves people before he's even 24 hours in the ground? His wife literally has not even set up a funeral or a burial, and people are out here trying to defame and slander him everywhere. And then on top of that, wishing death and harm on his wife and children. So that's the response, right? Because that's what Martin Luther King taught, right?
So I do not. I believe the people that say that he deserved to die, I think that's a whole different conversation. It's a tough one, but I believe majority people are saying they just don't give a damn that he did die, and they saying, "Hey, you died the way how you said it's supposed to be." You said that, hey, listen, some people gotta die because of gun violence so we could keep on having guns. This is some of the rhetoric that he said. So I think people are just not empathetic to that man himself, especially since himself said empathy is a weakness. I think people are sympathetic and empathetic towards his family and his wife and kids and that type of situation. But him himself, they are not. And then now also when she comes out, and by the way, when I was rocking with Hulk Hogan, I had no idea about politics or his views. All I knew, he was ripping off his shirt. So, but as later comes around and we get grown and we start to understand what we actually see, and then we see who the person is. That's why also when he passed away, none of the people that used to be lovers of the goddamn wrestling, they didn't care that he died either. And so with her, when she came and she did her speech, she was attempting to be all sad and emotional, but what came out of her is the same thing that came out of her husband. That was hatefulness. You seen the hatefulness in her face. You heard the hatefulness in her tone of voice.
So if you died today,
to take her sympathy, but she couldn't because she didn't have it, because she's heartless. She has some hatred in her damn heart. That's her problem, and that was her husband's problem. And they put on this mask.
I'm gonna let you talk, and I'm gonna get you.
They put this mask on. And guess what? It is off. The mask is off.
Let me interject for just a second. Hold on. Let me interject for a second. We got 1,300 people in the room. Whatever platform you are watching on, subscribe. Make sure you support your content creator by hitting the Cash App and or the Super Chat, and let us get this run. People are calling for the angry man. I don't think y'all want that, because he'd come set this whole entire shoe on fire. Let's go ahead and get this thing going, and let's keep it rocking. We in this thing. We moving. Make sure you drop a like. Everybody that can hear me, put a 1 in your chat, whether you're in my chat, mine, Chaos Brew, Chaotic Hero, or in Sharon Bracey's chat. Everybody put a 1, get the engagement up, get the likes up, and let's get this shit popping.
Yes, and please double tap the screens, because I believe we're all in vertical. Sharon, you're on vertical too?
Correct.
Double tap the screen or hit the 3 buttons in the upper right hand corner in order to subscribe, like, and everything else. But if you were shot today in front of your wife and your daughters, and before your wife even had a chance to wrap her mind around the fact that you were gone, everywhere she's turning, people are like, oh, he's a piece of shit. So what? Who cares that he dies? Fuck him. Fuck the kids. Fuck the wife. Whatever else. Would your wife then come out and be like, oh my God, guys, God is good. yeah, we're just sending love and positivity to everybody. Is that what your wife would say? Or would your wife be more likely than not spewing out vitriolic commentary?
So I'm not a hateful person, and I don't spit out hateful rhetoric. So if you go by the words of what he said versus what I said, I do not try to divide people. He is absolutely dividing people, not off of truth, right? It's one thing if we say, hey, this is what I recognize in you, and this is how we could fix this situation, versus saying, hey, y'all don't have the brain matter to do your job because you are a black woman. You only got your job because you said affirmative action. Those are the things that he was saying. If you are a pilot and any black man walks on this thing, I've got to wonder if he's qualified. All of that, he calling a man a chink. These are different situations where we know that this man was not pushing the community actually forward. He was only pushing his community.
That's actually not true, but I hear you, right? Because the woman that he was speaking about, she literally said out of her own mouth, and he did show the clip, that she only got where she was because of affirmative action and DEI. The issue is, hold on, no, because I let you cook. I
want to come back to that affirmative action part.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm gonna give you grace. Go ahead. I'll let you get in there. Go ahead.
But the problem with that affirmative action part, what she was saying was that she would not be able to get in the position to be in front of those people if it wasn't for affirmative action. So she was trying to explain how affirmative action, let me slow down, affirmative action and the DI program, it allows people that are qualified, that look different from the masses of people, to get the opportunity to go ahead and work. And that's what she was saying with her context. Go ahead.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what her context was, right? Because you don't give a shit about what Charlie Kirk's context was. It doesn't matter. It just sounds racist to you. So what we have learned from this exercise is it's all about the sound bites. The context is inconsequential. It's a mootable point, right? So what she said out of her mouth was that the only reason she was where she was for affirmative action. And that spoke to a talking point that he had, where if he was to say the only reason why she was where she was because of affirmative action, that he would be called a racist. And it's true, because y'all are calling him a racist, and he literally didn't even say that's the only reason she got there. Let's not also forget that Ketanji and Reed were also under attack for incompetence in the roles that they play. So the only reason you got where you were was for affirmative action and DEI, but you are also under pressure for incompetence. That, in fact, makes the point that he's trying to make. Now, am I saying that that is the majority of the case, or that's every case with everybody that's in affirmative action or DEI? Absolutely not. However, that was the perfect storm for the message that he wanted to push that day. This is where the problem lies, because when people are not coming into these jobs based off of merit, it opens the door. It opens the door for incompetence. And the fact that Black people don't want to acknowledge that is crazy. So are you saying that Ketanji was not under attack if she wasn't incompetent at her job?
No, she wasn't incompetent in her job just because she made a mistake or dropped the ball. It's a lot of people that's at their jobs. They drop the ball on a certain situation. They are not deemed incompetent or brain dead or don't have the brain matter. This is the issue of his speech, right? His speech is saying that those people were not qualified. Those people was absolutely qualified to do the job. They could not get to, you cannot be a pilot without having the qualifications. You cannot get to the places where Michelle Obama is as a Harvard graduate in law, one of the most difficult places to become. It's like, no, that is not true at all. So these people are highly qualified. Can they still make mistakes? Absolutely, they can make mistakes. Can they drop the ball in a job? Absolutely, that can happen. But we cannot say affirmative action is a way to say somebody cannot do their job or they not qualified. The only thing that it does is put them in the space where they can actually be interviewed and have an opportunity to do the job in the first place, because without it, we know what the situation will be.
vile,
So this is the
racist,
thing.
anti-democracy buffoon he was. This is the buffooning of the American presidency. This should not be happening. So as a teenager living in New York, I've said it before, this is the reason I never watched The Apprentice. I despised Donald Trump because he, to me, signified the rich white guy in Manhattan that absolutely hated and despised me, that hated and despised my cousins, my friends, everyone we knew, that called us wilding just because we were in the park, that said we can't be free to walk around in the street, that said when Patrick Dorismond got killed by an off-duty police officer, he's no choir boy. And he was literally, was no altar boy. He was literally an altar boy. Giuliani said that. And so people like Giuliani and people like Trump persecuted Black and brown people in New York. It's what they did for fun. It's what they did for pleasure. They enjoyed it. They enjoyed lording over people who had nothing, who had no $1 million lawyers, who couldn't change lawyers at the drop of a hat and get a different hip hop lawyer the next day when they were tired of one, who couldn't go out and make their case on, Fox or on Newsmax, who had nothing, and who Donald Trump lorded his everything over, and still people who looked like them put him in rap songs. It was an indignity to me that something I loved, a culture I loved, would lionize that. And so to me, this is justice. The fact that Manhattan didn't give him a mugshot, I thought was offensive. I thought that the Fed said, we already know what he looks like. He was the president of the United States. Okay, offensive. Everyone else had to take him. This case, and I think Fonnie Willis is a hero. She is a national hero because she, more than any prosecutor in this country, and I respect Jack Smith and I respect all the prosecutors that are doing this, she's the only one who said these wealthy, powerful, privileged men and women are just American citizens.
What you didn't like about what she said?
What do you mean? What do you mean? She took anecdotal experience and she used that to completely disparage somebody else that did absolutely nothing to her. Because he reminds me of the rich white man, I hate him. That's a racist.
So
that's a racist.
So, but the thing is,
that's a racist. Admit that that's a racist.
That Donald Trump is possibly one. Yes.
No, that Joy is a racist.
I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for Black people. It is okay for Black people to admit their prejudice and their racism.
No. So Sharon, wait, hold on, wait, hold on. I love the heat that y'all bringing, but Sharon, I have to step in for a second.
Go ahead.
Everything that woman just said about Donald Trump, would you say that was racist or not?
Not.
That was, and that's the biggest form of gaslighting y'all got.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because she's a New Yorker, so she know the temperature that was around that man. She know that he was the one that helped get those 6 kids in Central Park, the Central Park 5. She know what he was a part of that situation. We know those kids didn't do what they said that those kids did, right? So that's number one. Number two, we also know in New York how he had issues with getting those folks in and out that goddamn building. We know. He had a couple, but we know the real truth behind him in that building. We also know down in Atlantic City, we know what people he did not pay that built up that goddamn Atlantic City. We know. And it is okay for us to understand what he's pushing. He don't mind if you're a rich Black person. He like, hey, you know what? Hey, you got enough money to hang around us? Fine. But as a totality in New York, everybody had that sentiment about Donald Trump.
So your answer
I'm a New Yorker, and I didn't have that sentiment about Donald Trump. I've never had that sentiment about Donald Trump.
Yeah, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, me and you been walking down the street with us, and we were like, man, fuck you, Trump.
I've always liked Donald Trump. Always.
This is the first time I ever going to call Cap on Raw B. I can't believe it. I can't believe my
Hold up, wait, time out, Sharon. That's not right, because the majority of Black people love Donald Trump until he ran for president. You know this.
No, that's not true.
That's bullshit.
Only those rich.
This is why I can't be up here. I'm gonna cuss you out.
Well, you know what? But I'm from Harlem. But I'm from Harlem.
That's
but I'm from Harlem.
Now it makes sense.
Oh, honey, lie for what? I went to school at PS 116. It's on 31st Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. I used to live on 23rd Street and 2nd Avenue. Don't ever get it twisted. I don't have to lie to nobody for nothing. Don't get it fucked up. But at the end of the day, like, people just don't like Trump because he's the president.
It's not true. When it comes to New Yorkers, he always had that mixed feeling of he was a degenerate, especially all the things that he said about his daughter and that we don't know what that is and why he even flirted like that and speak the things that I speak. He was always a horrible person in a lot of aspects. Was he terrible because he's a great businessman? Absolutely. Do he say some great things? Absolutely. Has he done some great things for the country? Absolutely. However, as an overall, I think he has a more negative than a positive or productive light in America. And that's the point that most people are talking about. Especially when you grew up with him. And he, Raw, he had a lot of decades of different situations where it wasn't flattering to us, and that's why he tried.
But meanwhile, everybody loves Robert Downey Jr. and he did blackface in Tropic Thunder, and he was a whole crackhead for the majority of his career. But I guess a man doing blackface, that's not racist. But meanwhile, they're trying to paint Drewski into a corner because he dressed up like a NASCAR fan. But at the end of the day, this is not about Donald Trump. This is about Charlie Kirk. And no matter what the conversation is, right? When I hear people trying to deflect and justify the vitriol that they're spewing about this man, right? They really can't say why they don't like Charlie Kirk. But you know what? I'm gonna introduce you to somebody new. Now, I'm not ambushing you. Ain't nobody's joining this. Nobody's joining the show. Just have to be clear.
I'm from New York. We from the same place, baby girl.
All right, let's get it popping then. So we're gonna look at this clip. This is from Jesus Enrique Rosas. Okay, he is the body language expert. Let's listen to this. Black women lack brain power. Let's hear his take. Fair use.
Or to otherwise be taken really seriously. And people are saying that Charlie Kirk said Black women don't have the brain processing power. All right, people are saying that he said that, and he did not say that. It's very, very different. You had to go steal a white person's slot to be taken somewhat seriously. This is what he said, and he was talking not about Black women in general, but some very special and very famous examples of DEI, and that's why DEI is so important to clarify.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
It's right. It's like the same analogy that I was telling. Imagine that I said I got a job, an important job, and they said I am only here because they have this program that favors Venezuelans and Latinos to enter these jobs. I would be like shooting myself in the foot. People, I would be confirming that I'm only here not because of my qualifications, but because affirmative action, DEI. That is a stupid. That would be actually retarded. So yeah, I would be lacking brain processing power to understand that my words are just affecting myself in a spectacular way. So yeah, I think that he had all the right to say those words.
You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken.
Pause right there.
You know that Charlie, of course, had to be
we're gonna listen to
agitate. You had to go steal a white person's slot. Charlie, you could say anyone else's because it doesn't have to be a white person's slot. It could be a nation person's
Thank you.
Latino person's slot. You had to go steal another person's slot. That would have made not about color. It's not black or white. So that's there's a mistake. Charlie, you made a mistake. I have to call you out for this, but we need to be fair. You had a point, but you had to make this about black or white. That does. Oh,
Thank
well.
you.
You can't win all
Good
the time.
point. Now that y'all heard it from a Spanish man, maybe y'all could receive it, because that's what I said about.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
Right.
Again,
but the point is,
post more clips about this. But again,
thank you.
The principle.
I'm glad y'all played this.
But the point is, again, because I'm here to have a real conversation. Unlike most people, I'm not dramatic. I'm not dramatic.
Clip, Raw B. I don't know if you
right.
that Raw. That was a really good clip. So
that clip proves that proves that he's not.
Can I?
I just wanted to give that. That was a.
But
really
the point is, it didn't have anything to do about him being racist. Yes, he could have used different wording when he said white, right? But it wasn't about him being racist. It's about how do you, as a person sitting in power, come and tell people that you're only here because of affirmative action and DEI. Like, you don't lead with your aid. You don't lead with your shortcomings. You don't lead with what you had help in order to do. Even though she tried to clean it up later on, that was a mistake that she made when she said, but affirmative action didn't help me graduate. Right, because you could have bought papers. If you traded on somebody else helping you to get in the door, who knows what the fuck you did to graduate? You could have been buying papers, popping it for somebody else, giving up that booty or anything else. What are you talking about?
Nah, before you say anything,
giving up that booty.
Before you say anything, Sharon, before you say anything, and this is where I call out the bullshit of the black community. I asked you specifically earlier, was what was said about Trump from Joy Reid racist? You said no. Correct? All right. Correct. So the statement that was made by Charlie Kirk when it came to this black woman that just sat up there behind that podium and said that the only reason she even got into there was because of affirmative action. You're saying that statement from Charlie Kirk is racist?
Absolutely
bullshit, and that's the problem with the black. Wait. No, bullshit, and that's the problem with the black community. And it is what it is, right? When it comes from the black community, anything that's said about black people, oh my God, it's so racist. But a black woman sat up here on live national TV and said some disrespectful, deplorable shit about President Trump, and that's not racist. This is the problem with the black community. Y'all always take it as a shot towards black people, and y'all take it as racist. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Exactly, because he's speaking.
The reason why.
Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
And the reason why it's not BS is because Charlie
is what?
He was the one that introduced race into the affirmative.
Did this black woman not just sit up here and do that?
Hold on a second.
No.
Hold on, because we're not. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
We're going to do because that's what the man did. We're only going to deal with the truth.
We're not going to say that Shirley.
No, Raw B is only dealing with the truth of what we both witnessed together.
Right. So and you tell me how
my beautiful.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk because you're crazy right now. You wild.
Hell, I'm gonna deal with that bullshit. That's bullshit.
Let him speak so that when I cook his ass, he got to be quiet. I'm gonna let him speak. Go ahead.
Because my beautiful New York sister just heard that beautiful Venezuelan man say, "Hey, Charlie, you didn't have to say she took some white person's job because of affirmative action." Absolutely not. What she did was given an opportunity to be presented to that company and show all of her credentials and her merit that she worked very hard for, studying day in and day night, losing sleep to get those goddamn degrees.
She ain't lose no sleep to get no degrees.
She lost sleep. You could see it all under her eyes. You see, she lost sleep and she ain't never went to sleep yet. She been working. She been grinding, working her fingernails to the bone every night and day for the man. And so when we hear that dog whistle of stealing a white person's job,
the champ is here.
This is my shit right here.
The champ is here.
This shit is crazy.
The
evil genius
Now you're really about to get cooked. But Angry Man, before you get him, because I'm gonna step down and let you cook his ass. No, I'm not. I'm gonna cook you too. At the end of the day, Charlie Kirk did not bring race into affirmative action. Affirmative action in and of itself brought race into it because affirmative action was created in response to the civil rights movement. Yes, it was.
No, so the reason why
Anyway.
affirmative action is not a race situation because white women benefited off of that the most out of anybody. So that shows and proves that it's not about a race situation. It's about getting people in front of hiring managers.
So what was Supreme Court, the 2023 Supreme Court, right? Versus Fair Student Act versus Harvard. What was that about? Was that about white women succeeding? Because what it actually was about was white and Asian students were getting penalized 200 to 400 points on their applications because they were white and Asian. Go ahead, look it up. Look it up.
Nothing to say, Sharon? Okay, cool. All right. What up, OG? How you doing today?
What's going on? Sharon, you have been sitting up here
telling the truth,
lying, misquoting. But let me ask you a question. Did you watch Charlie Kirk on a regular basis?
On a regular basis, no.
Okay,
but I did watch him a good amount of time, as much as we possibly can, being content creators ourselves.
You did what most black people do. You watched him to find things to be offended about. Absolutely not.
I recently, what I found about him is when he started saying that whole DI and the pilot. That's when he first got on my radar, and then as things move forward, once you start looking at somebody, they feet start to hit you a little bit more, and so I'll watch a 20-minute clip of him saying some nonsense, and that's how I found out about him.
Okay, so I watched him on a regular basis, and you misquoted him several times. Yes, you did. You said that he didn't believe in empathy, but the problem is you didn't quote the entire thing that he said about that. What he said was empathy to him is not a real thing. It's a new age word that was created because he doesn't believe that a person can feel what another person is feeling. I much prefer the word sympathy. That's what he said.
Right, but he's wrong.
There is no but.
No, it is a but because he's wrong.
I cannot feel what you feel.
That's not what empathy is. Putting yourself in that other person's shoes to understand what they are going through, right?
Which you cannot do.
You absolutely can.
You can't.
So if that's the case,
and the reason it's subjective. You can think, but you're not going to be in their shoes. Go ahead, y'all continue.
The reason why you can't do that, and the reason why intellectually that is a slippery slope. Okay, that type of thought process can be dangerous on the negative side. I understand exactly what he meant when he said that. What he said was he would much prefer to be sympathetic to people as opposed to empathetic to people. So what he was breaking down that day is that from his perspective, his opinion, sympathy is much more effective than empathy, given the fact that it is impossible for me to feel what you're feeling. Me and you both can feel love, joy, sadness, pain, but that doesn't mean I'm going to experience those things the same way that you do. So that's one misquote. Another misquote was what was the other one that you said? The other one that you said was the black pilot. That thing, right? So typically, how often do you fly, Sharon?
Not often.
Not often.
I work too much, yeah.
Okay. So
actually I gotta leave to go to work shortly. Go ahead.
This is gonna seem a little anecdotal, but and you're probably gonna deny it, but typically when you get on a commercial airline or flight, do you see black pilots?
Typically, no.
Okay.
Even though I know a bunch that's in my personal life.
Yeah, there's somebody in my family that's training to be a pilot. It's black. So I get that. But here's the thing. Around the same time that he said this, there was a huge scandal coming out about a lot of DEI hires in the field of aviation. There were literally air traffic controllers that didn't know what they were doing, which caused a lot of problems, which caused a lot of issues with planes almost crashing into each other and things of that nature. In addition to the fact that there was one guy, I forget his name, I did a story on it. It was a black guy that was in charge of some aspect of aviation. And they were questioning him. They were asking him questions. Ted Cruz and everybody was asking him questions. He absolutely knew nothing about aviation, right? So I get why he said that. Now, I'll give you this. From an outside perspective, if you don't pay attention to politics or you don't pay attention to what's going on in aviation and all of those different things, that would sound like a racist comment.
It was.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Because here's the thing. This is where the problem is coming in. If you don't like, let's say for argument's sake, there's black people out here that just generally don't like white people for whatever reason. Do you consider that racist?
It depends.
How does it depend?
I gotta hear the context of what they say and why they dislike the person.
Let's say every experience that they had with white people was distasteful.
If that's the case, I don't think that's racist.
So then how can you proclaim that Charlie Kirk is racist for making negative comments or what you perceive as negative comments about black people?
Because with the whole situation with the pilot situation, right? To be a pilot, you got to go through a vigorous situation to be qualified to be a pilot. You cannot be unqualified to be a pilot. You have to be qualified to be a pilot. So Charlie Kirk, he does not have a bad experience with negativity about black folks coming around. So
before you go,
okay.
Before you go into that,
I was gonna build it up
before you, because you're skipping over what I said. You're skipping over the logic of what I said. It doesn't matter if you have to go through a strenuous process in order to be a pilot. If a white person has had a bunch of negative in this thought exercise we're doing, if a black person has had a bunch of negative experiences with a white person, I asked you, would they be racist if they didn't like white people? You said no.
No.
So
correct.
if that's logical on that side, then it has to be logical in the opposite. It has to be logical in the other circumstances if we swap out the races. So let's say, how do you know that someone having a negative opinion about black people isn't coming from their experience with black people as opposed to them just being racist?
Because if that was the case, then Charlie would have explained and expressed his negative situation and why he had this negative view about black folks. But that's not what he did. He put it as if, hey, if I see a black person, they are unqualified. If those four black ladies that went through school, those four black ladies, he don't have no experience with them as well. Those four black women that went through school in order our best and brightest, right? He said they don't have the brain power, even though Michelle Obama went to Harvard, graduated.
Excuse me. I have to cut you right here. I apologize, but I have to. Right. First of all, somebody in the comments made a great point. Would you want the guy flying your plane that has over 10,000 hours logged in or that only has 10? Right. So when we're talking about qualifications, right, Yeah, you do have to go through training. You have to go through training to be a soldier too. But guess what? Those in boot camp, they try to keep them closer to the back so they don't die when they go out there on the field. Ask me how I know. My mother is an Air Force veteran. My father is Navy. So I know exactly what it takes to fly planes and all that other good shit. But I tell you what, if you don't have the hours in, you're not qualified. In regards to what you were just saying about those 4 women and their college education, right? You can graduate from college with a 1.7 and actually get a degree. So it's a difference between having a 4.0 GPA, being Sigma cum laude, and all this and all that, and just passing on and getting through the damn door. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like the worst students don't also graduate and get their damn degrees. As long as you stay off of academic probation, you're good. But I'm gonna let you, angry man, have it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
So the problem is that they still. I just want to finish up. So the problem is when we talking about the base that you're trying to build up, right? Charlie doesn't have experience with a whole bunch of negative black folks, and that is
you don't know that.
And that's the issue that I have.
You don't know that. But by the same token, when I gave you the other scenario, that scenario also lacked the information. It's a hypothetical situation.
And right, this is why we shouldn't ask hypotheticals. But I was indulging in your hypothetical, and the problem with the hypothetical is that you put the problem with the hypothetical is that you put parameters. Hold on, let me just explain so we could get each other and we could cook each other up. And so you put the parameters for the hypothetical, and once you in place that, I can answer it in the way of the hypothetical. But Charlie, on the other hand, he does not fit that hypothetical whatsoever. And a lot of racists,
you're forcing him to fit.
I'm gonna get to that point right now.
You are forcing him to fit the hypothetical that you want, so that you can call him racist.
And the problem is, this is what a lot of racist men will do. They will push out things and say things where you cannot prove them wrong, right? And this is why they hide fallacies.
Sharon, you're full of shit.
You gotta let me finish though. But
you're full of shit.
I am not. This is just a good observation that any man should be able to look and see and say, "Hey, you full of shit," because you are hiding behind the fact that I can't prove something. If the man is saying something that is degrading a certain group of people, a certain group of multiple different people, we should just call it what it is.
Sharon, check this out. Check this out, bro. I know what real racism is. And real racism is not somebody giving an opinion about a specific group of people that specific group of people don't like. That's not racism.
Right.
You can consider it prejudice. Hold on for a second. Hold on. You said what you said. You can consider it prejudice. You can consider it prejudice. You could even consider it bigotry. Okay, but that's not racism. That's not necessarily racism. What you're doing, and this is the sad part about this. When I sat here and watched this, because I had a little more faith in your humanity. I sat here and I watched you make excuse after excuse and misquote a dead man so that you could justify what people are doing right now. The shit is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, bro. I wouldn't care. Like, at the end of the day, this is a guy that had an opinion that you and a lot of black people that didn't like.
That's just not true.
It does not mean, number one, it doesn't mean
it's not true what you're saying.
It doesn't mean that his opinion was wrong. You literally right now, as we speak right now, the very first black woman to be in the Supreme Court is there strictly because she's a black woman.
Wow. Not because that's crazy.
Wow.
But that's what she said.
Hold on. Joe Biden literally said out of his mouth, it is time for us to have a black woman on the Supreme Court.
Okay.
This is a woman during her confirmation that could not even answer the question, what is a woman? And I'm sorry, I don't play these new age, progressive, bullshit ass lefty games. If you are a grown person and you cannot define what a woman is, you're an idiot.
Hold on, Angry Man. Hold on. So let me just say this real quick, right? If you guys want to think that people are liars, guess what? Fuck you and fuck your father. My parents served.
Stop responding to the chat, baby.
No. I'm gonna say it because it needs to be said. It needs to be said because whenever there is a point that is brought up that you can't hold on. I got this. Hold on. Whenever there's a point that is brought up that y'all can't debate, that you can't qualify, that you can't logically explain, you automatically go to the fact that someone is a liar. How about all of y'all are pieces of shit? You literally are sitting there trying to disparage someone's identity within less than 48 hours of them passing away. Y'all are literally out here, oh, well, good. So what? Fuck them kids. Fuck her. She's evil. All of this and all of that. But y'all believe in empathy? So if somebody shoots you in the neck, then the way that y'all feel about this man's family, I hope people feel that way about your families too. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all acting like y'all not prejudiced, racist, or what the fuck ever. Y'all are prejudiced as fuck. Y'all are racist as fuck. And the only reason you don't like this man is because the man is white. Because the same thing coming out of Charlie Kirk's mouth comes out of your favorite content creators' mouths that you watch every day.
Look, here's the thing. It's a logical fallacy.
What you were saying was a logical fallacy. The reason I want to test a response.
The reason why.
Don't tell me that I'm cursing too much. I'm not bitch nigga. I will curse as much the fuck as I want to and suck your mama's pussy. I said what the fuck I said.
Yo, it's a logical fallacy to be the group of people that claim you're against gun violence and then celebrate when someone is the victim of gun violence. It is a logical fallacy to claim that you are empathetic and that you are the group that is progressive and intelligent, and then turn around and hate someone for a difference of opinion. It is a logical fallacy to be all of the things that the left proclaims that it is, that I know is bullshit. But the things that the left proclaims it is, their behavior right now goes contrary to what they claim to be.
So the problem with this, that is just an opinion. That is the fallacy in itself. It is not just an opinion.
It is just
right. He's somebody. It's not just opinion because he's somebody that is in politics. He's somebody that opened up to bring Donald Trump out into on stage. He is somebody that helped put people in the places of power. He is somebody that helped Donald Trump get into the position that he's in. So it's not just an opinion. He goes
and what did Donald Trump do when he got into the position that he was in?
He is traveling around the country.
And what did Donald Trump do when he got into the position he's in?
And narrative, so he could build up a group of people, and he's getting them to.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem with the left. This is the problem with the left.
No way you gotta allow me to talk with you, brother.
Y'all
you gotta allow me to talk with you. You cannot tell me.
No, because you're not trying to have a goddamn conversation.
When I feel, but this is my opinion, and you could disagree with my. I'm attempting to have a conversation, but you cannot keep on cutting me off and think that I cannot speak. Your words is not more important than mine. We've got to be able to have the conversation with each other. You are actually doing the same thing as Tyler Robinson right now. You're trying to silence me by talking over me. But what you should do is let me have my opinion and say how I let you have your opinion. If we clash and we just clash on this subject, and that is fine. But the main issue is that man Charlie was not just an opinion. He was a political movement.
Did I shoot? You just said I'm doing the same thing as Tyler Robinson. Who
Yes.
did I shoot?
You trying to silence me.
See,
That's
this
what
is
you're
what
trying
the
to do
left
while
does.
I'm talking.
This is
You are
what
trying
the
to silence me.
left does.
And so now you
This is
now you
what
don't
the left
understand.
does.
Now all of a sudden
This
you
is
don't
what the left
understand
does.
what a metaphor is. This is
So
crazy
because
that
you don't
somebody
agree with me,
that's supposed
so
to be
because you
intelligent
don't
as
agree
you
with me,
do not
you want to
understand
label
what
me
a
someone
metaphor is.
that
I
just blew
use it.
somebody's
I
head off.
use it as a metaphor, and you of all people should understand the metaphor. We are,
Okay, but
we
you
are
don't
having
understand.
a intellectual of words. Like it's okay. Like
But you
not
don't
being
understand the
used as a
metaphors
person.
that Charlie Kirk used.
It,
Got him.
yeah, what you mean?
No,
He
but
didn't
see,
use
hold
no
on.
metaphors.
Hold on, but we're not
But
gonna
he-
skip
He
past
didn't
this.
use no
We're not gonna skip past
metaphors.
this. The moment that you don't like what somebody is saying, like a Donald Trump or a Charlie Kirk, you want to label them the worst person in the damn world. You don't agree with what I'm saying, so now all of a sudden I'm Tyler Robinson. Sharon, I've never shot anybody over their damn opinion.
It's a metaphor, and you know it was a metaphor.
It's
Now
no
you're trying to make it
metaphor.
seem like you trying to make it seem like I'm being
Kirk's
now
rhetoric dangerous, but yours isn't.
you
How is Charlie
understanding.
Kirk's
You
rhetoric
understood
dangerous, but
exactly
yours
what
isn't?
I meant when I said it. You knew I was using it as a metaphor. I was not
Bullshit.
saying that you are going
Bullshit.
around silencing people by popping them
Bullshit.
off the neck. That is not what I was
Bullshit.
saying. What I'm saying is that you are attempting to silence me every time I talk. You try to
Bullshit.
cut me off as soon as I start pushing
I've
out a
addressed
point
everything.
that you understand the
I've
point while you
addressed
talking
everything
over
you
me right
said.
now instead of making it out to be
I've
an
addressed
intellectual
everything you
conversation
said.
so we could go back and forth. You want to keep
I've addressed
trying to
everything
talk
you said.
while I'm talking, which is not fair. This is dishonest. This
I've
is your
addressed
fallacy.
everything
This
you
is how
said.
you're moving. You do not want to actually have a conversation because
You
you
don't
know
understand
that boy
how a
was
conversation
very
works.
No, it does not. We're supposed to go back and forth so we can
You
hear
don't
each other
understand
and
how a
not listen
conversation
to
works.
respond. And this is the issue that we have, right? And it's okay that man, he was just not as peaceful and productive as you are trying to make him out to be. He was not.
Who did he shoot?
Who did
he shoot?
I didn't
Who
say
did he
violent.
shoot?
I didn't say him shooting somebody
Who
has
did
nothing to
Charlie
do with
Kirk-
what I'm saying.
who did
I'm not
Charlie
talking about
Kirk
violence
assault?
whatsoever.
Who did he
I'm not
attack?
talking about violence.
Who did he
We're
swing
talking
on?
about that man. We're talking
Who
about
did he
that
swing
man,
on?
right? That man.
But you
was not
keep
just
bringing in.
opinions. That man, he was pushing political power. He was moving things forward. So it's not about the man's opinion. This man actually had political power.
So guess what you're supposed to do? 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 What you're supposed to do, if Charlie Kirk is that strong of a political figure and he has the ability to shake and move things, you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to match that politically instead of bitching about racism, hoping that the society will silence him for you because you don't like racism.
Right, but hold on, because it goes a little deeper, right?
You
Like
sound crazy right now. Hold on, Robbie. Let me get this real quick. See, the real issue, the real fucking issue, is that if black folk were like they used to be, your Malcolms, your Dr. Kings, your Huey P. Newtons, if black people were like they used to be, they would challenge what he's saying at that damn level. But you know why you're not challenging what he's saying at that level? Because you ain't willing to do the work. You want to sit on platforms and cry racism and dog whistle. So hopefully somebody will shut him up for you so you can continue.
Absolutely not. That is another fallacy. Absolutely. Use that man's folks. Don't use Malcolm or Martin. No, our people was actually peaceful. Our people was trying to move the country forward. Our people was trying to get people to understand that we are all the same human beings. We are American and treat us as if we are American.
Hold on before y'all continue. Hold on before y'all continue. Hold up, Sharon.
I just want you to have
Sharon, before y'all continue.
Sharon, does your spouse know you're a racist?
Damn.
Does she know you're racist?
That's crazy.
Does she know you're racist? Does she know that?
That's crazy to even mention.
Because guess what? Last time I checked, somebody do me a favor, pull up Charlie Kirk's criminal record.
What his criminal record have to do with anything?
I don't believe he has one.
Him having a criminal record or not has nothing to do with the fact that he was pushing hate.
You said he was violent.
Hate, and you want to push hate as well.
You said he was violent.
You hate your own people. That's why you
said he was violent.
Clearly, you must hate your own people because I'm going by what the man say, and you
who hates his own people
and say what he said.
Who hates his own people?
You.
Oh, really? Who is my people?
I don't know. Clearly, it clearly ain't me.
Who is my people?
Clearly, it ain't me. I don't know. So now
you want to play that game with me? You want to play? You want to play that pseudo? You want to play that pseudo pro-black shit with me? If you so pro-black and you don't hate your people, why you ain't with your people, nigga?
Because that don't have nothing to do with being pro-black or not. This is the problem. This is the problem that people have. See, this is it. That's another. That is another fallacy right
Don't play that game with me.
That's another fallacy right there.
Don't play that game with me.
If that's the case,
it got everything to do with it.
Then you cannot have no argument
whatsoever
about Charlie Kirk. If I
simply as if go with
somebody and be with somebody
don't
that I actually love and that's somebody that I want to be with,
don't play that game with me.
Person connect, and now you are
don't play that game with me.
He got some love for black folks.
Don't play that game with me.
If I cannot have no love for my
don't
people,
play that game with me.
That I love, then that man absolutely
cannot.
That game with me.
Hold on for a second. Brownsville. Hold on for a second. Brownsville. You said start your own soul because you don't have to deal with disrespect. He's not being disrespected. They're just having a heated argument. So please do me a favor. This is something that Sharon came into so that he can be able to get his number up and get support. Don't try to take away from what we already got just because you want an echo chamber.
But
he got to deal with
Will,
like everybody else got to deal with this.
Will, check this out because we're not gonna slide by this, right? Did this man or did he not initiate that by saying I hate my own people?
What that is? That's crazy talk.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did say you hate your own
people. Not say I hate my own people.
Yes, he did.
He did. But I can say this to both of you. Come on, guys. We are having a great conversation. Let's not resolve to the ad hominems. Now, I'm the spicy.
First,
you did actually.
What I say?
You say he hates his own people. That's not okay. That's not okay.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
It's not. I was sitting here listening.
Sharon brought up. Sharon did a little underhanded slide at Angry Man, and Angry Man caught the underhanded slide and went back at him and brought up the fact that he brought up the fact that Sharon's not with his people. I'm not gonna go too much detail, but Sharon threw an underhanded slide at Angry Man. Angry Man caught it and threw his back. So
right, because Sharon basically was like that. He hates his own people.
Right.
And Sharon was doing it before he threw that underhanded slide too. He said it a couple of times.
Sharon threw a slide.
I didn't take time to cool off, honey. I took time to be a mother.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'll give you this, Will. My jab hurt more.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Because it's more personal.
It doesn't. Your jab is not.
It's more personal.
It don't have to be a personal attack.
I'm talking to Will. Hold on. I'm talking to Will. My jab was more personal. His was more generalized.
There you go. That's what I was saying.
But here's the problem with this. Right? Sharon does not know my entire history. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't understand the work I've put in growing up for my people.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So what you need to understand, Sharon, and you already know this. You already know I really don't care who you married to. You already know that. But for you to throw a jab at me that I don't care about my damn people, bro, I could be on YouTube right now tap dancing and cooning it up for every other group, and God knows I probably have 5 million subscribers. Every day I talk about black issues mostly. So don't do that. Don't do that, bro. That was low.
To be fair, Sharon, you did when the blow. We don't have to recant exactly what was said, but that blow that you threw, It was an underhand, and Angry Man caught it, threw it back at you. So both of y'all was in the wrong on that one. But now, as far as y'all yelling back and forth, being in the heat of the debate, I have no problem with that. But let's leave the personal ad hominems off the table. Can we agree to that? Sharon, Angry Man? All right, cool. Now, getting back to the thing at topic, because y'all left off on a very important part, and this is why I came back up here. By the way, everybody, as you are watching, please make sure you double tap your screen and supporting the content creator that you are, whose platform you're watching this on. Sharon, you said that the black woman, the black woman that got in through affirmative action, you said that that was not racism, and there was a clear disparity of racism on her part, right? And when we're talking about Joy Reid, how she was talking about how she was talking about President Trump. My point of contention is this, and this is a point that y'all can argue on. Why is it only racist when it's about black people, and it's not racist when it's about white people?
Because
so that's
go ahead.
first.
Go ahead.
So that's simple, because when speaking of what she was talking about with Donald Trump, he had a history of doing racist things, especially when his career. He only hung around the uppity black folks, right? You know, Puffy, those type of people, entertainer black folks, right? Because that's what racist white folks did back then. They hung around the entertainer black folks, and then that was the way how they would say, see, I have two black friends, I hang out with Puff Daddy, I ain't racist. Well, we know all that is BS and is bullshit. They are still racist. They still pushing out racist views. They pushing out racist politics. They are getting people into positions where they could push out their racist views and politics. That is the issue. That's what Charlie was doing by his BS dog whistles. And that is a problem that we all speak of. And this is why the country is so divided with his death, and nobody is peaceful with his death, because he was not a peaceful person.
So, number one, you're talking about things that Donald Trump did back in the day. Damn near every instance of Donald Trump's supposed racism has been debunked numerous times. But just like the very fine people thing, people continue to push it even though it's been debunked. All right. There have been numerous people of color, numerous people that are considered minorities and marginalized groups that are New Yorkers that worked for Donald Trump and said that they got the best treatment they've ever got from an employer. Okay. There are numerous stories, numerous verifiable stories of Donald Trump's behavior when it comes to black people. Now, to say that he only hung around successful black people because it was a cop out or an excuse to pretend like he's not racist. Who is a rich white guy gonna hang around other than other rich people? That's what people do. Regardless, if you're a rich black guy, you're gonna hang around with other rich people. Okay, so that doesn't prove anything. Now, as far as what you were trying to say about the Central Park Five, I'm sorry, bro, you're bugging out about that. Because number one, the prosecutor that prosecuted the Central Park Five and all of the individuals that actually had their hands on the lever of power when it came to that were Democrats. It wasn't Donald Trump. Donald Trump put out an ad in the paper, and in that ad in the paper, he was talking about criminals. Because if you read the first part of the ad, he says specifically, where have we gotten to where people can't even walk through the park anymore? White families, black families, Asian families, Latin families. He listed everybody. So if he was being racist, he would have just said white families. No, he was talking about criminals and criminal activity. And anybody that knows anything about New York, which you should know, Sharon, and by the way, it's not New Yorkans, it's New Yorkers.
Fact.
Okay. Now, you know as well as I do that Central Park in the 80s was the equivalent of hell after dark. And nobody went there. Nobody, teenagers definitely did not go to the park to have fun. They went to the park to rob people, to beat people up. And this is not me repeating what some white person said. This is what I know. This is what I know. And to say that, oh, Donald Trump was saying that, what did Joy Reid say? Or you said it, that Donald Trump said they were wilding out. No, that's what they said when they were being interviewed. Why were y'all going to the park? Oh, we were going to wild out. One of the boys took a metal pipe. Another one of the boys took a kitchen knife. Now, I didn't base my information off of the Netflix series, which tries to sugarcoat the shit and change the facts around. I based it off the actual footage of the interviews. Because unlike the Netflix series where they try to pretend like they interviewed the boys without their parents and coerced them and all of that, it's lies. The original video, you see the parents sitting right there, shaking their head as the boys are being interviewed. You watch the boys answering the questions. Now, did all of them assault that woman in a sexual way? No. There was one specifically that did that, but a couple of the other boys held her down. They admitted it. Okay? They admitted it. So this whole thing that y'all love to run to the Central Park and be like, oh, them boys was innocent. It just shows that in this modern day, you know what black people have become? You've become the very same thing that racist white Jim Crow folks was. Every time somebody white did something, oh no, they're innocent. That's what y'all have become. Every time somebody black does something, you want to say they're innocent, even if the proof shows the contrary. So now y'all want to condemn Donald Trump for the rest of his life for speaking out about the city that he live in and the crime that was going on in the city. And here's the thing. I know 80s New York, as I'm sure you do.
Right.
And
We ain't gonna act like Central Park wasn't full of little crack capsulets. There wasn't red and blue tabs all over the park.
Well,
Nobody was going to Central Park to get no horse and carriage rides in the nighttime at that point.
Bro, you know as well as I do. You know as well as I do. Anybody that's from New York or understand New York culture understands that the good kids was in the damn house.
Facts. As soon as the street lights came on.
Soon as the street lights come on, we in the damn house. The kids who had parents that didn't look after them or they snuck out or whatever that was going to Central Park after dark, they were not going there to play tiddlywinks. Let's be real.
Right. And for people that want to make this conversation, well, we're talking about right now, we're not talking about the 80s. We're supposed to be talking about Charlie Kirk, yet we wind up talking about Trump. See, y'all don't like it. Y'all
That's
pull
Sharon's
from
fault.
whatever. It is Sharon's fault, but that's okay. Y'all pull from whatever when you're trying to make your point. But when the tactic that you're using, which really is a deflection tactic, is used against you with facts to combat the misstatements and the misinformation that you're spreading, then it becomes a problem. Like at the end of the day, here's the gag of it all. If you look to your left and you look to your right, hell, if you look in the mirror, you're looking at a racist. So are you mad that he is allegedly a racist? Because nobody's been able to concretely prove that yet. I mean, he is a public personality. And I'm sure that Sharon is not really a jerk. You know what I'm saying? He just plays one on YouTube. I'm sure Angry Man's not really this angry all the time in real life. You know, at some points, there is a break in the internet persona to the real life aspect. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens made a phenomenal amount of money on social media by being very extreme, very salacious, in placing themselves in the right positions at all times. I think a lot of people are really just jealous because their rhetoric is hateful. And I'm sorry, but when you're talking about men, right, black men, what you're saying, Sharon, can be considered as hate speech.
Facts.
It can't.
Okay, so your statements,
No,
your statement. Hold on, wait. Now, Sharon, this is the perfect time for you to have your golden moment. So your statements that you make on your show, and I'm not talking about the statements that your people make on your show. I'm talking about the statements you make on your show. When you talk about men and their remedial rhetoric, you saying that your statements about black men in particular cannot be taken as racist?
Absolutely not.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
please. By all means.
but at the very least, they're divisive. You set up here, you set up here, and you try to pretend like you're not divisive. You're saying, oh, Charlie Kirk is divisive, right? Well, of course, what he's saying is going to be divisive. It's a opposing opinion.
Right. Well,
sometimes I've noticed in this day and age, people use buzzwords like those buzzwords are supposed to mean something. And you're not even using them in proper context. How the hell would somebody not be divisive unless they were in an echo chamber? But y'all don't like echo chambers either, right? So here's the thing. What is really boiling down to is the problem is this. There would be absolutely no problem, and none of this would be an issue if everybody grew the fuck up and wasn't so sensitive about someone saying something they don't like.
Right. All right, Sharon, you got
that would solve it.
Sharon, you got the floor, uninterrupted.
Thank you. So here's the thing. When I'm talking to my brothers, what I tell them is that they need to remove lust at the top of their value system, replace it with God. Add some value systems, right? Like honor, integrity, and all these other different things. We go through by like 10 different attributes that they can add to their life. There's nothing that is degrading those men about. When we tell them that, hey, you can be a leader, but you're going to have to learn how to be a leader. You need to start with yourself. Take that mask off. Stop being a representative of yourself and actually be yourself and work on yourself continuously. Move forward through life. It is nothing divisive about that. When I tell men to go ahead and walk 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes that way, start with at least 2 push-ups a day. There's nothing divisive about that. I want my people to move forward. I want them to be stronger, smarter, faster. We can do it together. Because a lot of men in this world, they cannot even do 10 push-ups. You're a part of like the 10%. You could just do 10 push-ups. If you could just walk a mile a day, that's what 15 minutes could accumulate to. So you can not say just because I disagree with my brother because they want to fight me tooth and nail, and I gotta pull them by their legs and ankles, and they pulling back for fighting me to go do the right thing. I'm somebody that not just talking about it, I live it as well every single day. Bust my ass to do the things that I am talking about, not just yapping. A lot of people are on these places, they just yapping. They use these buzzwords and they just spew out hate and act like we can't see it. It's bullshit.
So what you're saying is that because you do what you say, you're not just yapping, as opposed to somebody that's just talking and they're not doing anything, that's less effective, right?
In a nutshell.
So let me make sure I understand this. There are brothers on the internet right now, all they do is talk.
Yes.
But you said they're not doing the thing that they're talking about.
Correct.
So they're not effective.
Right, they lying. They're not being honest. That's the problem. They need to be honest with themselves.
So you just made a case.
They words need to be reflective of how they actually move it in the world. If you are out there giving advice, saying this is how.
Bro.
Hold on, you gotta allow me to.
Bro, you're bloviating.
I'm not. Don't do that. This is some bullshit.
Damn, I just asked you a question to get context. I wasn't even finished.
I wasn't finished. So go ahead. You got it.
I just asked you a question to get context, and then you do that a lot whenever you have a back and forth with people. You bloviate a lot, bro.
This is a lie. This is fallacy. This is how
you're trying to get away.
Use your commentating. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
This is deflection right here. This is deflection right here because you know where I was getting ready to go.
I don't know where you're going. I'm not psychic.
Well, maybe you should stop talking for a second, and you would. You literally just made a case for the fact that Rhetoric is not dangerous. Do you realize that?
How?
Because in one breath, you're saying that all it takes is for Charlie Kirk to say certain things, and that's going to cause a problem. All he has to do is talk. But then in the same breath, you're saying that black men that just talk are not effective. Which one is it?
I don't understand the conflation. What is you?
Oh, you don't understand?
Yeah, what are you conflating?
Maybe you also lack the brain capacity that Charlie Kirk was talking about.
Articulating what you are trying to say.
That's
right?
racist. Say he likes black power because he's a black man. That's racist.
I'm gonna say it again.
So here's a problem.
I'm gonna say it again.
You're not able to articulate what you are actually saying. That's you.
No,
you're not articulating what you're saying.
I did articulate it.
Charlie Kirk not living by his Christian values that he is saying, right? Because he's the one that is spewing out hate. Christianity is not about hate.
Okay,
So
here, let me make this easy. Let me make this easy.
That is hateful. That ain't Christ.
Sharon, let me make this easy. So what angry man, you correct me if I'm wrong. What he's saying is that if what you're saying about black men is not hateful or harmful or effective, that's what you're saying, right?
No. What I'm saying
I'll
is,
shut up, man. My bad.
What I'm saying is, this is what you did, right? So the moment that I asked you about you being divisive, you went into a whole spiel about how you're not being divisive. You're basically trying to educate your brothers on what they need to do. And instead of you want them to be active and live what they talk about instead of just talking it. And so what I asked you was, are you saying that because you live what you're saying, you're more effective, and because they just talk about it, they're less effective? And you said yes. So then I said, well, you just made a case for Charlie Kirk's rhetoric not being dangerous. Because you just said a second ago that Charlie Kirk is not living what he's talking about. So if he's not living what he's talking about, don't interrupt me. If he's not living what he's talking about, wouldn't he be just as ineffective as the black men that you claim are not living what they're talking about?
No, so that's why he is dangerous, because he's spewing out lies, and he's having a mass of people believe the lies that he is spewing, and they going out and living out the lie. That's what makes him so dangerous. He is pushing people to live out the lies that he is spewing out, because this idea that DI means that you are not qualified is a lie. So now when other people that believes that look like him, they are out there looking at other black folks like they are less qualified than white folks. He even said it himself. She was hired because of affirmative action. She stole a white person's spot. These are the dangerous words that man was using. That's verbatim.
First of all, that's what
I'm the one getting cut off, and I'm there.
Go ahead, Sharon. I apologize.
You know the reason why he does this? This is a tactic.
No,
so whenever he's caught in a logical fallacy, he starts bloviating and repeating everything he said before. And he tries to talk as long as he can so that when you try to interject to catch him in his bullshit, oh, I'm being interrupted. Oh, here comes the dramatics. Oh, I'm being interrupted. You just contradicted yourself in a major way.
Wait a minute.
On one hand, you see, and this is why, you know how you ended up contradicting yourself? Because you're not really standing on business. You contradicted yourself because of your own prejudice. You wanted to take a shot at black men in that moment. So you basically said that black men on the internet, which you have a problem with, red pill guys, or as you call them, rim brothers, which is very divisive, right? So
no, brothers, what they say they are. They are red brothers. They said they are red pill. They said they are incels. They say they manosphere.
Here we go. You wanted to take a shot at black men, right?
No, that's not. That's literally what they say.
See, here's the thing right here. Now we're getting into. Bro, I'm not finished.
You're not finished. You're not kids keep on lying.
I'm not finished.
No, but
I'm not finished.
You're doing like about 5 different points.
I'm not finished.
But you're doing 5 points. Let me address one.
No, it's 1 point. It's
no,
1
it's not.
point. It's
You're literally lying.
It's
You're
1 point.
lying.
It's 1 point.
This is insane.
It's 1 point. You contradicted yourself. And the reason why you contradicted yourself is because you view white men up here and you view black men down here. Because in your own explanation, when black men come on the internet and just talk, they're not effective. But when a white man like Charlie Kirk gets on the internet and talks, he can cause everybody to do all types of shit like the Jedi mind trick.
So here's the thing.
Hold on. This is insane. Please.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Charlie Kirk literally have over millions of followers following his rhetoric. This is not me saying that he's above anybody. This means recognizing the work that he put in and the people that he's gained as followers and knowing that he is pushing a negative rhetoric. That is not me putting him above anybody. That's me recognizing and seeing the truth. There's nothing wrong with seeing the truth, no matter who the person is. The problem is majority of men like you don't want to deal in any kind of truth whatsoever.
Hey,
you
be careful. Hold on. Be careful. Let's not be direct.
When I'm literally talking about this man is not just opinionated, this man is a political movement. You acting as if that is a lie. You act like as if this man doesn't have over 1 million followers. Like that's a lie. Like this man didn't just say that. We all heard him say. We heard him say these things, right? We heard him say stole a white person's job. Like we don't hear these things. The man was clearly what he was.
You told me. You told me.
Hold on, gentlemen. Sharon, hold on. Angry man. OG, hold on for a second. Baby, what was you about to say?
I was about to say this. First of all, DEI is not for people of color. DEI is for people of a disability and marginalized groups. Affirmative action is for people of color. So let's, number one, get that straight for the people that have it wrong in the chat. Number two, Sharon, Proverbs 8:13 says, the fear of the Lord is the hatred of evil. Pride, arrogance, and the way of evil and perverted speech I hate. So when people sit there and they say that Christianity is not about hate, as a Christian, you're supposed to hate anything that goes against God, period. That's facts all day. But if we're going to talk about divisive speech, salacious speak, and talking points, now it's starting to move from the fact that you have a problem with Charlie Kirk because of the subscriber count that he had, right? At the end of the day, yeah, when you say that he's a problem because he has millions of followers, at the end of the day, it becomes a subscriber count thing. Because if Charlie Kirk was just sitting in his couch saying the same things that he was saying, would anybody be bothered? Because nobody is bothered when they watch people on like Chaotic Truth's platform, for instance, right? Sitting there and spewing hateful rhetoric or whatever else. And they're being definitively racist or divisive against the community. When we are talking about Charlie Kirk, and I really don't care, like people want to sit there and say, oh, I can't believe black people are defending Charlie Kirk. I can't believe, as a people that have been marginalized and gone through everything you're going through, that there is this need to seek problems where there are none. Because at the end of the day, if you make everything racist, then nothing is. Charlie Kirk is not a racist person. Charleston White is more racist than Charlie Kirk at the end of the day. And a lot of black people are racist. And for the people that are saying that, oh, well, black people saying it's a travesty for people to be disrespecting this man and his family in the wake of him just passing away. Like, do y'all not realize that y'all are very much in alignment with your white masters? Because y'all suck up underneath Biden's ass, but Biden told you were super criminals and he didn't want to bust you to schools. And there are still C-SPAN meetings recorded where you can hear that live and in living color. Biden told you if you didn't vote for him that you weren't black, but you're still over there pandering and sucking in his ass. Kamala Harris told you to get your booties to the poll and vote, and y'all are still sucking up her nut. Obama told you black men that y'all ain't shit if y'all don't vote for Kamala Harris, and y'all think that's okay. Guess what? That's all racist rhetoric. And when we grow up in these contiguous United States of America, racism is the fabric. It's
They
the
want-
fabric, but y'all have selective outrage. Y'all got selective outrage, and y'all only talk about things when it's trending or when it's hot. Y'all not talking about these topics when it's not the number one trend on Google topics and it's not trending on YouTube. Because I didn't hear none of y'all talking about Charlie Kirk. If y'all have so much to say against his rhetoric, or did you just hear about his rhetoric this week? Let's keep it a stack. I know one thing's for sure. My brother, Angry Man, talks about all manner of shit all the time, and he always has been the entire time that he's been up here. And Sharon, you do give racist vibes. You give white supremacy vibes when you sit there and you try to silence red pills or incels or manospheres or whatever, because at the end of the day, they are the only ones being told not to have a voice, and black men are allowed to have a voice.
Gotcha.
What the hell?
Sharon has to get ready to go. He said he has to jet.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna be quiet. Let me get
that's why I was trying to get your attention. You know, you're going on your damn tangent. Will.
Yeah, he has to go because I was getting ready to nail his ass to the wall.
Oh shit. Well,
this is why these niggas. This is why these niggas will they'll only have a back and forth with me on panels where there's multiple people, because they can run from my logic. If you notice, none of these niggas will come to my channel and have a full-on debate with me because you running from my damn logic, bro. You contradicted yourself, and now you want to sit here and pretend like you didn't. You basically said that when black men are just talking and not doing, they are not effective. But Charlie Kirk, who's just talking and not doing based on your statement, is supremely effective.
No, but he's talking and
you contradicted yourself. No, and then you said, oh, well, he got millions of subscribers. Okay, well, guess what? You told me that. I remember one time you told me, y'all ain't effective. You just up here talking. I have damn near 1 million subscribers. So how is it I'm not effective as a black man talking, a rim brother, but Charlie Kirk is?
Because you are doing the same rhetoric that he's doing. You're spewing out hate as well. It's just that it doesn't seem as racist for you because you're black. So you're allowed to say the same because it's masked in truth.
What hate am I spewing?
And this is the issue that we have with somebody like Charlie, right? Charlie is not just talking. He is doing. You are not.
Am I spewing?
Your hatred towards black culture is what you are spewing. Even
my hatred towards black culture. Do I hate black culture or do I hate black dysfunction? Which one, Sharon? See, this is why I can relate to Charlie Kirk, because the very same thing you niggas are doing to him, you're doing it to me too. The very same goddamn thing you're doing to him, you're doing to me too. I ain't never talked shit about black culture. I've talked shit about black dysfunction, which you niggas now think is black culture.
Get him.
That's just not true what you're saying. And it is okay.
So give me an example of something in black culture that I said hateful things about.
I mean, you don't even call them black women. You call them B-dubs, right? That's
short for black woman.
That's dehumanizing them, right? That's already okay. I mean, if you're gonna every time I say 2 words, every time I'm gonna say 2 words, I'm not gonna be able to get a point out. And this is the issue.
Because you're a fucking liar. You're a goddamn liar. You just sat here and tried to make it seem like B-dub, which is short for BW, black woman, is a goddamn insult.
It is. You're not saying. So the problem is that you try to act like you saying B-dubs. The problem is you don't say
retard.
The problem is you do not use the word B-dubs in any kind of ways of affection towards black women. You do not do that. You always, when you are using the word anytime I ever heard you use the word B-dubs, it was in a negative connotation. I don't know why you act like this is I never heard you say, oh, the B-dubs is the why. Okay, y'all got it.
Hold on, no, because there's a point of contention.
If I'm wrong or not, let me finish
saying what I'm saying. Like he's interrupted every 2 minutes. Like I said 2 words, he said, "So what now? What now?" Like it's not possible to have a conversation if he's trying to frame the conversation in a disingenuous way.
Play victim.
We
Okay,
know
so
that we know for a fact that when he's using B-dubs, he's not saying it in a gracious way. Man, I just love my B-dubs. B-dubs are the most intelligent women in the world. That's not what he does. And we're not going to act as if that's what he does.
So let me clarify. Let me clarify real quick. As a Black woman that has been a supporter of Angry Man for a very long time, B-dubs was said because YouTube as a platform was blocking out comments in the chat that said BW and BM. It also was flagging and removing videos that said BW and BM. They were looking at that as hate speech. So Angry Man started moving over to B-dubs to get around the policies that YouTube created, just like when y'all use 304s, just like when y'all use YAG, just like when y'all use grape, just like when y'all use deletion. The way the AI is set up, BW was a problem. Just to clarify that. And Angry Man does not dislike Black women, and I can't stand when y'all say that. He likes ratchet ass hyena strags. There's a difference. Just like there's a difference between Black people and niggas. Just like there's a difference between, what do you call your people? The problem starters? No, I'm just playing. You call your people the solution-based gang, right? SPG. Just like there's a difference between SPG and manosphere. It's just simple colloquialisms. It has nothing to do with hating yourself or hating your race. Y'all continue. Go ahead, Sharon. You could kick it off.
So the problem is that when you use a certain term and there's always negative things after it, that's where the issue beholds at. And so I don't understand why we're trying to act as if we don't understand that. And it is okay.
Whenever there's a reason why, whenever I use the term, I'm responding to you, you fucking asshole.
How you gonna respond to me when I'm still talking?
Conversation.
You cannot respond to me while I'm talking.
Did I respond to you hurling accusations?
I ain't heard no accusations. I'm telling the truth.
I just did.
Sharon, you said Angry Man hates his own culture. He hates his own people.
That's fine. Will.
That's an accusation.
He said plenty of things that I did or did not do, and I did not interrupt him. Right.
Well,
and then I will address it. This is not. This you gotta hold this.
I got you. No. Wait. I'm holding the same standard because when he caught you in your contradiction, that was that, and then you got to. I told you you went into uninterrupted for the whole entire time. But let's continue.
He literally paused. In the moment I say something,
I needed to breathe.
You interrupted me.
I need to breathe. I'm sorry, but human beings, we actually breathe here.
I'm supposed to sit here and get lectured to by you like I'm a little boy or some shit.
That's like George. I need to breathe. Can I breathe, my brother?
So you do need to clear up a statement, right? Because you made an allegation against the Angry Man that he's racist towards his own people.
And what he's doing now is he's
tell me what I'm doing. Just let your face. Don't tell me what I'm doing.
The moment I stop talking, he stops talking. The moment I start talking, he starts talking.
Narrative about me when you could just say your statement. You don't gotta say what I'm doing. I ain't doing shit. I'm speaking.
Y'all gotta be seeing this shit.
Welcome to Nigga Mania. We've been waiting on these epic battles all.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
The moment I start talking, he starts talking. The moment I stop, he stops.
Hey, really well. I gotta go. I'm gonna cook your ass up later. I hope I can catch you on your.
If you can't cook the Angry Man, you definitely ain't cooking me. I ain't worried
about it.
Your
ass there. I will cook your ass here.
Sir, hold on, wait. Sharon, before you go, Sharon, before you go. Hey, Sharon, before you go, hold up, Sharon.
Mexican.
Sir, you popping a hole in your forehead. Look at you.
That's who I am.
Anybody can get it. But the problem is, Sharon. But look, here's the thing though. You can't walk away from that contradiction. If you're gonna say that Charlie Kirk, wait.
Past my time. I gotta get this crane on the building.
Okay, cool. But if you're gonna say that Charlie Kirk is not impactful and dangerous, you can't say the same thing about Black Man.
Boom.
No, that's a lie. That's a fallacy that angry man.
That's not a fallacy. That's a
is.
narrative that you painted.
No, I didn't paint no narrative about
You
the
did.
man. Literally does that.
Okay, so
Okay,
then what's
okay,
okay, so
hold on,
what okay, so wait, hold on, wait, you're right. Watch this, Sharon. So but you just said that angry man says derogative things or negative things about the black community, right?
About black women specifically.
Okay, so is it only wrong when the angry man and Charlie Kirk says it? It's not wrong when you say it?
What do I hold on. You gotta let me answer.
See you later.
I didn't answer.
Let him answer. Y'all let him answer. Let him answer.
See,
that's why Terrence Crawford beat your boy.
What? See, Sharon, now I try to be a good
am I supposed to be hurt that Terrence Crawford won?
Yes. He beat
why?
Your boy. Because he beat your boy. That's why.
Okay. He won the fight. He fought better.
He beat him up. He didn't just win. He beat him up.
He fought better. Why am I supposed to be offended by that?
Because that's exactly what happened tonight. Dark-skins win again.
What? Now he said dark skins win again, and then he dropped his black ass off. Well, Cellulite Podcast is a dark skinned black man.
Hold up.
And that was racist.
Yeah, that was racist as fuck. But yes, there is a poll in the chat. Let me go ahead and check this poll. Angry man, how you feeling, big dog?
Well, number one, I would like to have pointed out